Welcome in to the February episode of this new series in which we cover all announcements from city builders, management sims, base builders, colony management, tower defense, 4X, tycoon games. They're all strategy games. This is strategy news. Welcome into this February episode of Strategy Game News. We did see some significant delays for February, including Kaiserpunk and Hollywood Animal, which required some script reworks, which is why this video is a touch late. And to fellow Aussies, do remember that the release date shown on screen might actually be a day either side for us. So just make sure to double check Steam for your exact release day. With that being said, let's dive on into our January recap, because there was one announcement that goes way too hard to be ignored. 11 years after the release of the critically acclaimed 4X game, Endless Legend, comes the announcement of its sequel, Endless Legend 2. Amplitude Studios is teaming up with Hooded Horse to bring you the next chapter in this grand strategy series with an announcement stream on January 24. Taking place on the mysterious ocean planet of Saidha, players will have their pick of factions, 4 in early access with 2 more to follow on full release, and will explore a brand new landscape with its own unique set of challenges to overcome. Focus on preferred gameplay styles seems to have been a priority during the development of Endless Legend 2. Whether you want a bloody trail leading to your throne or a more diplomatic, peaceful solution to the conflict is up to you. This is your legend, your playstyle, your way. Amplitude Studios do have a track history of working closely with the community and implementing their suggestions and feedback, which resulted in the cultist faction in Endless 1. Hopefully we see another instance of the community being super involved and Endless Legend 2 being better for it. The game doesn't yet have a release date, so keep an eye on Steam for more info. This one is a little outside the scope, but I wanted to put a spotlight on it anyway. Airships Lost Flotilla is an adorable steampunk auto shooter that released on January 24 from developer David Stark and publisher MetaRoot. Lost Flotilla is set in the same world as the first game from the same dev, Airships Conquer the Skies. Airships Lost Flotilla is a roguelike auto shooter that gaming on Linux called a perfect time killer for when you've got a few minutes spare, but it can easily sink your entire evening. And I can absolutely attest to this. I got lost in the game as I was playing it for research, and frankly that's probably another reason why this video is out later than it should be. Though relatively simple, it's that simplicity which allows the busy gamer to jump directly into a game. I timed it. It takes around 6 seconds to go from desktop to actively driving your airship around in battle. I don't know about everyone else, but I've certainly found myself a bit weary over long load times and the parade of logos that comes before a game menu, so I found Airships' quick load times and no muss no fuss approach to diving into a run very refreshing. In Lost Flotilla, you'll purchase upgrades to design your perfect airship, whether that be through aggressive weaponry, quick repair times, or becoming an absolute tank that stomps through the skies. With a myriad of different enemy types, you'll need to be able to maneuver and dodge while also laying down a line of fire to make it to the end of the wave. As you progress through those waves, you'll unlock new ships, which will further expand your playstyle options even more. And a massive shout out to the sound design. The soundtrack is grand and verbose, which honestly I loved. I was cracking up laughing zooming through enemies while a big brass band heralded my tiny ship, and the sounds for picking up loot awakened the goblin in me. I do love good sound design. Lost Flotilla has had a relatively quick production timeline, having first been announced in May of 2024, but featured a demo along with that announcement. This demo was immediately pretty popular, with over 3,000 people giving it a shot in just a single week from the game's announcement. Ultimately, I think Lost Flotilla could be a cute little indie gem that would be perfect for people just looking to unwind and blast some enemies. And to round out our January recap, Death Howl was announced by The Outer Zone and 11-Bit Studios. This Souls-like deck builder was announced on January 18 with a free demo and was well received by fans. In Death Howl, you'll play as a grieving mother moving through the realm of the spirits as she attempts to defy death and bring back her beloved son. You'll need to engage in combat, collect ingredients, and perfect your deck to cast spells. This will be 11-Bit Studios' 21st published game to date. For now, though, we'll have to wait patiently as more information emerges about their newest title. But in the meantime, Death Howl does have an active demo you can try out right now. Moving ahead now into our February releases, we are starting off strong with the hotly anticipated 4X titan, Civ 7. Developed by Firaxis Games and published by 2K in their usual combo, Civ 7 was announced on June 8th, 2024 and has moved swiftly through development, following a recent uptick in streamlined announcement to release cycles that we've seen from other studios. With a steady stream of updates and leader reveals, Civ 7 is the next chapter in the well-known series of 4X games. Playing with your friends or by yourself against the AI, sessions can be altered according to your preferences in terms of victory conditions or ages. Civ 7 will also be cross-play, and for the first time, you'll be able to choose your leader independently of your civilization. There are currently 28 announced civilizations across 3 distinct ages, with more soon to follow. The new emergent narrative system has also been implemented with the intent to provide a more tailored experience for each run and gameplay style. The game will quietly collect information on events and choices made by the player and then trigger at any point in the game when certain requirements are filled. With over 1,000 events to be experienced, the narrative system aims to add some more personality to your run. Return players of the Civ franchise will hopefully be treated to some new gameplay mechanics, whereas new players will be able to get started with ease, as extra attention has been given to refining those mechanics. And this is a good thing. Civ is definitely a little daunting in its scope. I'm honestly really curious to give this one a whirl. And yes, it is Steam Deck compatible. I know what I'm doing during travel this year. Civ 7 releases on February 11th, 2025. Dawnfolk is the charming puzzle-type city builder from developer Darren Keller and publisher Astrological. In Dawnfolk, you'll work to restore light to the realm by developing each tile and finding the ultimate combination of adjacent structures. The game encourages you to experiment, rework, and destroy your buildings to find the best combo, all while fighting off the mysterious dark storms that threaten to remove you from the map. With your sentient light friend Lure, you have to manage people, resources, food, and light to stave off the darkness. And with minigames adding an extra interactive element to your expansion, the player will be in full control of how their city fares, down to the arrow and the axe. Story elements dot even the demo, hinting at a darker force intent on smothering your barely rekindled flame, while events force you to make choices that shape your reign as ruler. Not just a city builder or a puzzle game, Dawnfolk seems to have a story that reveals itself as you play. And this is another pick for game simplicity with a very short learning curve and load times. If you've only got a few minutes for gaming in the evening, Dawnfolk is definitely one to keep your eye on, releasing on February 12. Turns out this is the 4X episode of the series. Old World, the historical 4X strategy from Mohawk Games and Hooded Horse, just announced its 6th upcoming DLC, Wrath of the Gods. Wrath of the Gods will add a new scenario, a new playable nation, and 9 calamities that the gods can bring down upon you if you invoke their wrath. Players will also be treated to new map scripts designed to change the way combat plays out and introduce new strategic challenges, in addition to over 200 new events, 8 new character traits, and more. Wrath of the Gods will be available for purchase on March 3rd, 2025. The studio behind Station to Station has just announced their newest game, Town to City, a voxel city builder set in the Mediterranean in the 19th century. Sporting a truly gridless build system and a ton of cosmetic choices, Town to City will make use of its voxel graphics to bring your cozy settlement to life. It will also feature both sandbox and campaign modes, and the player will be able to get to know their citizens as they move in. You'll also be able to create new towns and connect them via travel routes, which is something we've seen this developer do well in Station to Station, to encourage trade and tourism in your world. But the ultimate focus here appears to be on comfy, cozy ways to spend your time by building and designing the cutest environment you could possibly imagine. Galaxy Grove has teamed up with publisher Quali to bring us this one, and hopefully we get some more information on it soon. And for a quick special mention, also in the cozy genre, Tiny Pasture will release on February 17th. A desktop farming sim idler, the demo kept me company during the script writing process for this episode and did not slow down that process at all. Definitely not. Self-published by Cave Liquid, this minimal management sim runs while you work and doesn't interfere with anything else you might have open. They're very well-behaved animals. You'll need to keep them fed and entertained while they generate income, which allows you to buy more pets and decorations and food types, but it does just feel a little mean to wake them while they're sleeping to shake the change out of their pockets. Honestly, for anyone who grew up with a Tamagotchi or a Neopet, Tiny Pasture is super nostalgic and calming, and makes the time you must spend at your PC slightly more bearable. You know, I'm just a little worried about forgetting I have it open and leaving my desk, but that'll be fine. Surely. And those are our games for February. It was definitely a little bit of a shifting landscape this month, so thank you so much for your patience as I chase things down, because I always like to try to make sure that this information is as accurate as possible. As usual, if there's a game that you think I missed, or if there's an announcement you are really looking forward to and you'd definitely like me to get eyes on it, do feel free to email me at reneeskyplays@gmail.com. Otherwise, I'm super keen to hear which games you are looking forward to. I've got to say that when I saw the announcement about Town to City from the devs of Station to Station, I was so excited. The charming voxel art type seems to be something that Galaxy Grove does really, really well, and I think we're in the mood for a bit of a cozy city builder after we've had other games like Tiny Grove come out. That being said, I do love getting stuck into old world, so I'm absolutely going to be checking out that DLC when it drops. I'm super curious to hear what you guys are looking forward to. Please do let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in a month's time for the March episode of the Strategy Game News. Yeah. This series again. I need some volcanoes and shifting landscapes in my life that aren't the script for this episode.